Hello students, welcome to e-learning session in immunology. Today in this session, we learn about blood typing and blood group antigens. Blood typing is a method of classification of blood based on the presence or absence of the antibodies and the antigenic substances which are present on the surface of red blood cells or RBCs. So these antigens which are present on the surface of the RBCs may be proteins, carbohydrates, or glycoproteins or glycolipids. Depending on the blood group system, you have this type of antigens. Some of these antigens are also present on the surface of other types of cells of various tissues. These blood group antigens involve two important antigens in ABO type of blood typing, A antigen and B antigen. The blood types are inherited and represent the contributions from both the parents. As of 2019, a total of 41 human blood group systems are recognized by International Society of Blood Transfusion. The two most important blood group systems are ABO and RH. They determine someone's blood type for suitability in blood transfusion. So these two antigens, antigen A and antigen B, they are present on the surface of the erythrocytes or the RBCs. Along with this, two antibodies found in human blood, anti-sera A and anti-sera B. The antigens are present on the surface of RBCs and antibodies will be present in the blood serum. Depending on the antigenic property of blood, all human beings can be classified into four groups, like antigen A, group A, antigen B, group B, and those with both antigen A and B will be considered as group AB, and those individuals they do not carry A or B antigens are considered as group O. Here you can see the difference between antigen A and antigen B. So this is RBC. On the surface of RBC, you have the antigens. Here, both A and B antigens are differing in the terminal sugar moieties. Here, if you take the group A antigen structure, so this moiety, which is attached to the surface of the RBC, is galactose. To that, N-acetyl glucosamine is attached, and one more molecule of galactose is attached. To the galactose, you have N-acetyl galactosamine and one molecule of fucose moiety. This is the structure of antigen A. And in case of B blood group, so when the B antigen structure is enlarged, you'll see the galactose. Attached to it, there is N-acetyl glucosamine, and to this, there is one more molecule of galactose is attached. To the galactose, we'll find the attachment of one galactose molecule and one fucose moiety. So the difference is, in case of A antigen, you have N-acetyl galactosamine. In case of B antigen, you have only galactose. So this difference will categorize the blood group antigens into A antigen and B antigen. Whereas the individual who are having both A as well as B blood group antigens on the surface, they are considered as AB blood group. You can see the co-expression or coexistence of both the A and B antigens on the surface. Whereas O individual, they do not carry this either N-acetyl galactosamine or galactose moiety. So these terminal residues are absent in case of group O individual, where they do not carry A antigen or the B antigen. So these terminal residues will differentiate blood group antigens into A and B. And when you, so these structures are present on the blood cell, that is erythrocyte. But in the blood serum, we have the antibodies. So these are formed in a principle like in an individual, the person who is carrying the A antigen will have the antibodies for the missing antigen. As I told earlier, so these structures are also, these antigenic structures are also present on the other cells or the tissues. So in the internal organ, we find many microflora where they share the structural similarity with group A or group B antigen. So in these individual, though the individual is not exposed to the B antigen, the group A individual will carry the antibodies for the missing antigen, that is B antigen. That's mainly because this microflora, they share the structural similarity with the A and B antigen. Since the RBC has the A antigen, the individual will not carry anti-A anti-sera, but on the RBC, since they do not have the B antigen, they carry the antibodies for the missing antigen, that is B. So the individual belonging to the group A will have antigen A on the RBC and anti-B anti-sera on the in the blood plasma. In case of group B individual, they carry the B antigen on the surface of the RBC, but they carry the anti-A anti-sera in the blood serum. As I told earlier, so they carry the antibodies for the missing antigen on the surface of the RBC. Similarly, in case of the group AB blood group individual, they carry both A antigen as well as B antigen on the surface of the RBC. Since both A and B antigens are present on the RBC, they do not carry antibodies for both A and B because both the antigens are present on the RBC. Whereas in case of group O individuals, since they do not express the A and B antigen on the surface, they do not have any antigen on the surface of the RBC, but in the serum, they carry both anti-A anti-sera and anti-B anti-sera, because on the surface of the RBC, there is no anti-A antigen, there is no antigen A, there is no antigen B, but the microflora will carry the antigens. They show the structural similarity with the antigen A and antigen B. So these will be considered as the foreign substance and they raise the antibodies. So they carry the anti-A as well as anti-B anti-sera in the blood serum. This understanding of antigen A and antigen B as well as the anti-sera A and B in the blood serum is very important because they play an important role in blood transfusion. This ABO blood typing was first described by the Karl Landsteiner. First, we'll start with the group AB individual where they have both the A antigen as well as the B antigen on their surface of their RBCs. And their blood plasma does not contain any antibodies against either of A or B antigen. Therefore, individual with type AB blood can receive blood from any group like A, B or O along with AB. And these individuals are considered as the universal acceptor. Then coming to the group A individual, they have A antigen on the surface of their RBCs and blood serum contains the antibodies against B antigen. So anti-B antibodies will be there. Therefore, group A individual can receive blood only from individuals of A or O, preferably A, and can donate blood to individuals with type A or AB. Coming to the B group individual, they have B antigens on their surface of the RBC and blood serum contain antibodies for antigen A. Therefore, a group B individual can receive blood only from individuals of group B or O and can donate the blood to type B or AB. Whereas group O individual do not have either antigen A or antigen B on the surface of their RBCs, and their blood serum contains the IgM type of antibodies for both A antigen and antigen B. Therefore, group O individual can receive blood only from group O individuals, but can donate blood to individuals of any ABO blood group like A individual, A group, group B, group O, and group AB. If a patient needs an urgent blood transfusion, and if the time taken to process the recipient's blood would cause a detrimental delay, O negative blood can be issued because it is compatible with anyone. O negative blood is often overused and consequently is always in short supply. In addition to this, the Rh antigen will play an important role in blood transfusion. Human RBCs, they carry the antigen called Rh antigen that shows the structural similarity with rhesus monkey antigen. Based on the presence or absence of the Rh antigen, the blood group again will be classified into A positive if they have the Rh antigen, A negative if they do not carry Rh antigen, B positive if they carry Rh antigen, and at the same time B negative in the absence of Rh antigen, AB positive, the group AB with Rh antigen, AB negative, group AB blood group without Rh antigen. Similarly, in case of group O positive will tell their RBC carries Rh antigen. Group O negative tells you O blood group without Rh antigen. So you have to consider prior to the blood transfusion whether the individual carry the Rh antigen or not. So that is very important because it's a blood transfusion the hemolysis may take place immediately and may be fatal to the recipient. So in this session, we learned the A antigen and B antigen, which are present on the surface of the RBCs. Along with that, we also learned about the presence of Rh antigen. So that will classify the human blood group into 8 types: A positive, negative, B positive, negative, AB positive and negative, O positive and negative. Next is what is the importance of Rh antigen? You have heard of erythroblastosis fetalis in your practical classes. So these Rh antigen, they play an important role during this erythroblastosis fetalis. If a mother is Rh negative, if a girl is Rh negative, marries Rh positive man, if she conceives with the Rh positive baby in the first pregnancy, during delivery, just prior to the delivery, if the mother is Rh negative, they will inject the RhoGAM injection. So what is the use or why they are injecting this RhoGAM injection? It's because during first delivery, the mother is Rh negative, being Rh negative. During delivery, there is mixing of a few fetal RBCs which are Rh positive with the maternal bloodstream. So this makes the mother body to raise the antibodies against the Rh antigen. So later, if she conceives with the same Rh positive baby in the second pregnancy, so it is very fatal for the growth of the fetus because she will be positive for the Rh antibodies. So that will act on the RBCs of the fetus and may lead to the death of the fetus. This is called erythroblastosis fetalis. To avoid that, they inject this RhoGAM injection just prior to the delivery, first delivery, if she is conceived with the Rh positive baby, so that her body, even if it raises the antibodies against the Rh antigen, will be completely killed or will be removed from her body, so that it should not affect the mother body, should not affect the growth of the second fetus if it is Rh positive. So that's why we should consider this Rh positive presence and absence in the blood group before transfusion, as well as in the erythroblastosis fetalis. I hope you understood this session. Thank you.